Welcome to Newsfeed. My name is Linda Alala. We start off the bulletin with the realignments of the changes on matters of governance that have played out in Nairobi County, as I update you on the latest based on the developments that have hit our editorial desk. Welcome on board. It's always a pleasure to have you join us as we take a look at these stories that are making center stage. And exactly that story that I've talked about, Nairobi County Assembly Speaker Beatrice Elachi has resigned. Speaker Elachi resigned this morning, saying it is the right time, and the Deputy Speaker and Ruai MCA John Kamangu will now act as the Speaker, awaiting an appointment on a new Speaker. Elachi accused Governor Mike Sonko for fueling the ongoing County Assembly chaos that have left several people, including MCAs, injured.
I come from a very different old book, maybe. I mean, there's time for everything. And for me, my journey is a very different journey. Me, I always feel when God tells me this is the right time, this is the right time. I live when my head is high. Last time I left when my head is low. Today I live myself, my head is high. I mean, I have done what is rightful, and I'm back with my political career. That was my most important agenda, my political career. Because that time, nobody would have trusted. Nobody would have said what they were saying was right. Yeah, so today I live my head high. Without force, without what, I live with my head high. And that's the most important thing in everyone's life, especially for us women. So I know women, we are looked at. Our leadership is very different. We are not like men who fight, and you look at an institution. I'm a mother. If anyone dies here today, I know I'll feel it. I'm a mother. Or if I die here today, then what? As long as I'm within, we don't get into personal, it's okay. When you get into personal is when now I'll be wrong. I will even ask for an apology, yes. But if I'm doing my work correctly, whether you find it very bad, I will finish it. That's my job.
The Parliamentary Committee on Education has today held a meeting with the TSC, NAT and KUPPET in an attempt to solve a stalemate that is ensuing among the parties. The meeting comes after calls from the National Union of Teachers demanding that the teachers' employer to implement the 2017 CBA without biasness. The National Union of Teachers has had a long standoff with the teachers' employer, accusing it of not honoring the 2017 CBA signed by the unions and the teachers' employer, and failure to remit agency fees to NAT, but releasing the same to other teacher unions, including KUPPET, despite a valid court order. Let's listen in.
Blocked, and we feel that that is not good. So those are the items that we have listed. Then 13, the last one, the current standoff between NAT and TSC has a great potential to damage the education sector, and in particular, the children and the teachers who stand to be negatively affected. They are innocent victims of the standoff, like those teachers who have not been paid their third and fourth phases. And maybe any action that would come out of this misunderstanding would affect our children, and more so during this time that TSC is encouraging community tea. And we would wish to support that kind of a program, but with this kind of standoff, it might be bad. So I think those are the issues of dispute that we raised. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you for the presentation as requested by Honorable Ivo Bara, so that the TSC can be on the same page as us, because there was a lot of disconnections, and thank you, Madam Nancy, for coming. Now we want to open it up to the honorable members to raise their issues as we conclude this meeting, so that we can come up with amicable resolutions moving forward. Thank you. Honorable Professor, let's start with Professor.
No, you have to keep your proposal.
Sorry?
Can I begin asking?
Yeah.
Yes, thank you very much, Madam Chair. Thank you, the parties that are represented, for the brief that you have given us. I have a number of areas, just for clarification by the respective parties. I want to begin from page 6 of the report presented by TSC. In the list of cases that are pending in court. I look at the final case, which is a notice to revoke TSC NAT recognition agreement. I want to ask a question. Is there, as TSC, have you made this kind of attempt? What is the implication of this notice? On the same, I would like to ask the NAT to avail us a copy of this notice, because they say it is part of the package that they gave to us. I don't seem to have that copy. I want to move to the report presented by NAT on page 4. The attack on NAT by
a family in Kikuyu area, Kiambu County, is yet to come to terms with the death of two children who drowned in an abandoned pit filled with water at a construction site in the area. Family members and neighbors are now demanding justice for the 3-year-old Abigail Mbaire and 4-year-old Angela Wangoi, as David Muthoka reports.
Disaster has struck twice for a family in Kirukino village at Kikuyu area in Kiambu County after two siblings drowned in an abandoned pit filled with water at a construction site in the area. Residents found the bodies of the two, 3-year-old Abigail Mbaire and 4-year-old Angela Wangui on Tuesday, ending days-long search following their disappearance on Sunday.
So walienda kucheza na wakafikiria kurudi nyumbani. Na waliporudi nyumbani hawakufika nyumbani. Wakaingia kwa hii construction, na walipoingia hakuna mtu, hata mimi mwenyewe sikuwa najua.
Residents are now crying for justice for the two children, accusing the construction site owner of flouting construction protocol by leaving the area where the two drowned unguarded.
Naomba sana serikali ikuwe ikizunguka kila mahali kuangalia mjengo kama hii yenye inajengwa na inaachiliwa jinsi hii na inaleta maafa.
Mwenye hii project achukuliwe hatua kali sana na serikali. Na sipochukuliwa hatua, pia sisi watu wa kijiji tunaweza amua. Tuna haki zetu.
Kwa sababu mimi huanga nafanya kazi za mjengo. Najuanga ya kwamba kulingana na sheria za mjengo, mtu anafaa fence kwake na uweke fence. Ukiweka ile fence, hakuna mtu anaweza ingia kwako aangamie pale. Kama ni shimo kama hiyo, kusema kweli, hata kama angekuwa ameweka gate, angekuwa ameifunika, watoto kama wale wangeumia pale.
David Muthoka, TV47.
And the Kenya Wildlife Service, KWS, has disbursed compensation worth 95.6 million to victims of human-wildlife conflicts in Makueni County. According to Makueni County Commissioner Maalim Mohammed, the compensation has been paid out to 45 families for wildlife attacks reported between 2014 and 2016. Out of the total wildlife attacks reported in that period, 18 of them were fatalities, while 27 were major injuries.
Watu 18 waliweza kupoteza maisha yao, 18 victims. Na utaratibu ulifuatwa na serikali imefidia hawa familia. Na kila familia wamepata pesa taslim shilingi milioni 5. So 18 victims, each getting 5 million. That's a total of 90 million Kenya shillings. Na wale wamepata injuries walikuwa 27 na waliweza kupata pesa taslim milioni 5.6, 5.6 million Kenya shillings. That gives us a total of 95.6.
Away from that, the case of one Sampeu Koisi, aged 22, accused of raping and impregnating his two sisters, 17 and 12 years of age, is expected to be heard today at the Kajiado High Court after it was postponed yesterday. It is said that the accused man from Oloboisort village in Bisil, Kajiado, has been involved in a number of sexual acts for some time and now threatened to kill anyone who exposed him of his acts.
Nimemshika akamrep na nikaenda kwa hiyo boma kufuatilia, nikajua kwamba kuna wasichana wengine wawili ambaye wametiwa mimba na huyo kijana. Na huyu msichana wa kwanza ule ambaye amerepiwa ni msichana ya dada yake, na hao wawili ambaye wako na mimba ni wasichana ambaye ni wa mama yake. Nikakuta kwamba huyu kijana hakuna mtu kwa boma, ametishia kila mtu, anasunguka na mkuki, anasunguka na kisu kusema kwamba mwenye atasema ile kitendo ambaye amefanya.
Now, Senate is this afternoon expected to try for the 8th time to unlock the revenue sharing deadlock. And even before the afternoon sitting, political supremacy battles are already playing out between senators. Our political affairs reporter Elizabeth Mutuko is in Parliament and now joins us live. Elizabeth, how is the mood like down there?
Well, good afternoon, Linda Lela. Just as you've said that the Senate is about to sit for the 8th time to ensure that today at least the Kenyans get a solution on the revenue sharing formula. But this time I would like to hear from Majority Leader Samuel Pogisio to tell me what we are expecting this afternoon. Thank you, Leader, for giving me opportunity. If I may ask, what are we expecting? Do we have a solution pertaining to the third generation formula?
Well, let me first of all thank Kenyans for their patience. So many attempts have not succeeded. Not that we are unable to deal with it, but politicians by nature, they will try and push for their sides. And this is one case in point. There are two sides to this coin, those who support the formula and those who don't like the committee report. And so those are two sides, and both sides will try as much to prolong this as they can. But today we are expecting that we should remove all the roadblocks that are there, make sure that we deal with the amendments, the amendment on amendment, and then come back to the real, to the subject matter, which is the committee report, and proceed to vote on that. Or if the amendments have gone through, proceed to vote on the amended version of the report. That's exactly the order of things today. The thing about it is that we're under pressure from Kenyans to make sure that we finish this business today. And so it shouldn't be easy for anyone to rise on adjournments, on frivolous points of order, and what the gerrymandering and posturing and delaying things. I think we should just proceed. After all, the amendments speak for themselves. So let the amendments come out, as many as they can be. Let them come out. Let's deal with them one by one, and then move on now and deal with the subject matter.
I know you've seen various amendments. Do we have which one can be a solution, or it's only the report?
These are all what you call unilateral amendments, because one or two people sat and brought their own amendment. We did not succeed in getting a middle ground negotiated by both sides. We did not get that consensus building. It did not happen over the weekend. So literally, there is therefore no agreed upon position. And there is no consensus built, which means the Sakaja amendment is still there, the Olekina amendment is still there, the Linturi amendment wants to amend Sakaja, and then you have Wamatangi, you have Orengo, and so there are many amendments in the book, and all of them have to be dealt with, unless now they withdraw. Members themselves withdraw or do not want to move them. And so it is possible that we can get to the subject matter of the committee report this afternoon.
Yesterday we saw Senator Murkomen and others saying that there is light at the end of the tunnel through the amendment, through Linturi's amendment, which some various towns will gain and others, a few of them will lose. What is your take on this?
Well, but that's their own light in the tunnel. They did not discuss it with anybody else. So it is probably a eureka moment for them. But you see, they have not convinced anybody else. I mean, they did not bring to the other side. You see, the opportunity we had was for 5 members from each side to come and discuss. Then they would have agreed and brought one uniform, one agreed upon position. That would have been very good. That could be a solution. You can't call that a solution, which it's unilateral. It is one-sided. And the other side is not canvassed. And so it'll be difficult for that to be the solution.
So categorically, you can state the committee report, it's only thing which can be a solution to this to the Kenyans.
The committee report is the main subject of discussion. And it's the one that has to be debated and voted upon. That's what it is. Everything else is an amendment or trying to amend that particular report. The key things that the Senate operates on the report.
All right. We'll be going back to Liz later on as we get more updates from the same. I'm sure she'll be covering all this, and you can be rest assured that we'll extensively take you through the same as we await this moment when indeed the Senate is set to decide on what way forward as to the supremacy battles that have been ongoing, and not just supremacy battles, but the politics that has taken center stage at this time when we are hoping to deal with the sharing of revenue on this particular occasion. Remember, this is the 8th session that, of course, the senators are meeting, and the whole world, or maybe technically the country, the entire country is waiting more so on matters development to ensure that the devolved unit is well taken